Let's go to Jen in Alexandria. Jen, you're on 630 WMAL.
Good morning. I used to be a Republican,
Mm-hmm.
and the Republican mantra, 3 cornerstones of the Republican Party are less government, fiscal conservatism, and grow America's business.
Uh-huh.
Under the Bush regime, none of those things existed. In fact, I was horrified as a former Russian interrogator with the Army Security Agency at the Pentagon, having served my country proudly, as has my husband and my son, to find that our constitutional freedoms were under attack under Bush and Cheney. A lot of people aren't educated to analyze and think for themselves, and that's okay. And it's up to those of us who have figured it out, and you might consider yourself one of them, but I would beg to differ. That. Now, having said that, I just want to throw out just an observation. Isn't it interesting that you have Republican-run states and municipalities who have basically brokered their municipalities and states into the poorhouse, and now they're sitting there going, but we need help. They're looking to the federal government for help. As well they should, because we pay taxes. And, people like Joplin, Missouri, and upstate New York, they need help. It is what defines us as a country to help those on their knees to make the difference. Having said that, I know for a fact that there are people who are not the 1%, and I wonder if you're one of them, because you're obviously championing their cause this morning, to fight the fight against paying anything and to what is a responsible tax. Having said that, I'll sign off and wait for you.
No, don't sign off, because you've completely avoided the question, which is a standard sort of Democrat thing to do. The question.
Any question.
No, of course you have. You went on the attack. You changed the subject and attack, and sanctimoniously at that, self-righteously at that. Now, hang on, Jane. Don't talk over me. Hang on.
You have fallen on deaf ears.
Jen,
I tell you what.
Listen, look, I know you're a liberal because you just keep talking and you avoid the question.
The middle class have had enough.
Jen.
We have had enough.
Stop talking.
You want to sit here and, no, I'm not going to. The Republicans, shut up. No, I'm not.
I didn't tell you to shut up. I'm trying to ask you a question. I'm trying to have a rational conversation with you. Listen to this.
I'm not finished making my. Obviously,
you haven't finished. This is not a conversation, Jen. I don't want to hang up on you.
Losing a listener.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, Jen. There it is, the voice of the liberal. Throwing rocks. Jen, you're a classic example of what's wrong with the political debate in this country. The question on the table, Jen, before you so rudely went on your little ideological sanctimonious rampage, I could go down a list of left-wing states, of Democrat-controlled states that have bankrupted themselves up the yin-yang. Do you recall the Maoist Communist Revolutionary Party, the Socialist Workers' Party, and Barack Obama's SEIU taking over the State House in Madison, Wisconsin? Do you recall the situation that Governor Chris Christie inherited without claiming victim status in New Jersey? Is California bankrupt? Please, that's a completely specious argument. And your redistribution scheme and whatever about the Russian at the Pentagon, whatever that was, I don't know what that was. But to simply keep rambling when I allowed you quite graciously, by the way, to ramble on unrelated subjects, the question on the table, Jen, was what is your fair share? The president says he's not waging class warfare. Of course he's waging class warfare. He says it's math. Well, so is $14 trillion in debt, creeping up on 100% of our GDP. So is the $1.5 trillion annual deficit that this president has invented, just knocking the needle, pinning the needle all the way over to the crazy side. And the question on the table, Jen, was what is your fair share? And I suspect that I know your answer, Jen, not that you're willing to have a civil conversation, and that is more. Your answer is more. And what's it going to be when you get more? It's going to be more again. It's going to be more from somebody else. And this war on the middle class crap means that you've bought into this class warfare that the president says he's not waging.
Ann, a Democrat. Why are you a Democrat, Ann?
Well, see, here's the thing, sweet. I used to be a Republican. And when George Bush and Dick Cheney started shredding
my... so why are you a Democrat?
I'm telling you, if you would stop interrupting.
No, you're telling... Did we dump that? Why do people lie to come on this program? Can't they just tell the truth? Now, those on hold, do they get to hear what she said? They do. Well, they know why we dumped her then, don't they? She said because she wanted to be part of a party that gives an S about the people. Oh, yes, it really does give an S. But not about the people, on the people. Their talk, their game, their propaganda never matches their actions. Just look around. You know, I don't have to just debate this. Look, it's all tangible. It's all happening. It's all happening. Because for Ann and the other drones and parasites, for the people means the government stealing from one person their hard work, their labor, and giving to them. I wanted to pursue this with her, but I didn't want her to get into this Bush thing where they go on and on and on. I wanted to know why she was a Democrat, not why she's not a Republican. But it's hard for the liberal Democrats. It's hard for them to explain themselves, to explain their thinking, without coming off like selfish parasites. What can I say? We always have a line open to have these discussions, but it's always the same thing. Gimme, gimme, take, take. I have a right to. No, you don't. I'm here to tell you don't, and there's tens of millions of us who've had enough of you. How about Tom, Annandale, Virginia, the great WMAL? How are you?
Mark, better now that you're coming in on FM. I work very late. I appreciate you.
Tom, let me tell you something. I love 6:30 a.m., but that 105.9, baby, we're on all cylinders all over that area now.
Oh, loud and clear. Particularly, I work late a lot, like coming home now, and I heard the liar Lib, who earlier in the morning called one of the earlier morning shows on MAL and used a different name, as a matter of fact. She said in the morning her name was Jen, and with you she said it was Ann. So, sorry, Jen.
Oh, same one. Who'd she call, my buddy Chris Plante?
Yes.
Yes. Clever, wasn't she? But I smoked her out in 2 seconds.
Oh, you sure did. I couldn't believe the timing of when I was getting into my car, turning you on, and she came on again.
Let me just say this, my friend. This is why I am a quasi-professional.